Yeah, a hard game, I think, for both teams in that, we hadn't played a game in 2 weeks going into our exams and then for a little break for the holidays. So a hard game. And what I was most concerned about was they got the one and probably only game out of their system where they didn't play harder than the other team this year when they played Niagara. I was hoping when we scheduled them that game wouldn't have happened when we played them, and that might be part of our strategy to win. But that didn't happen. I think that Jeff's staff and their history and their culture that they've brought here to the Pitt program is one that will accept nothing other than playing hard all the time, and I think that's what you're seeing out of these young guys sprinkled in with a couple of veterans. They really get after you, and that certainly affected us in the first half, and for them to get the big lead. We're at our best when we're running motion offense and we're able to move the ball and share the ball, and their speed, strength, athleticism, and hard work, I think, kind of took us out of that. I think we turned it over, 12 times in the first half and just, dug ourselves too big of a hole. We've now played Syracuse, Penn State, South Florida, and Pitt, and I think, when the game was close, because all of those games were close for us at some point, this Pitt team plays as hard and on the defensive end as any of those teams that we've played. I think we have a decent group that can kind of has a chance in the Patriot League, and hopefully everybody saw some of that in the second half when we were able to crack into the lead a little bit. But that's a hard playing group, and they made it really hard on us, and we weren't able to find the solutions for that.
I have an ask. Is coming in, averaging almost 15 points a game, almost had 5. What were they able to do to kind of take him away from you?
Yeah, they play small, to be honest with you. So compared to from the Patriot League, we're typically significantly undersized in the front court, and against Pitt we weren't. I think their physicality, didn't let him get the ball close to the basket, not just against him, but against our guard. So we weren't able to get to the spots where we need to throw him the ball to get it in to where he can be effective. And he missed a couple. I thought he missed a couple early around the basket that if he's able to get those to go down, it maybe changes what his game can be. But he didn't get the shots that we need him to get. And I think I'll credit the Pitt perimeter defense on that.
What allowed you guys to have so much success on the offensive glass?
Yeah, I think the same thing happens. Their perimeter defense dictates that you're not going to be able to move the ball and pass and execute your offense. You're going to have to, go make a one-on-one basketball play, and a lot of times then that puts them in rotation and puts them in help. When we miss as many shots as we did, there's a lot of offensive rebounds available. Well, when they're in rotation, some of our size and our bigger play, Raymond gets his own rebound a lot. He does that very well. And then the two guys that play the 5 spot for us, when their 5s are going to help on the drives, or whether it's Burns or even Alskis or Raymond, it allows Regisford and Bat to, be unguarded, and so it gives them a chance to offensive rebound. So I think their perimeter defense causes you to attack the basket off the bounce, miss the shot, and then there's a lot of them available. Yes, sir.
Comical question. How bad did you want to win this game when you consider that your team hasn't won against an ACC opponent since the Kennedy administration?
And I don't want to get into administrations. We haven't played them in a long time, and we want to win all the games that we have on our schedule. And I think certainly our guys were excited about this game. It's the last non-league game on the schedule for us. It's the last chance to play a power conference team. We played Penn State. We were down 3 with an open 3 with a couple minutes left. We led the game at South Florida for a long stretch, and played Syracuse as close as we've played them. It was a 1 or 2 possession game well into the second half. So I think our guys were less worried about the political administration the last time we played or won, but more excited to play against a team with the history and tradition and of Pitt.
How would you compare Pitt to Syracuse?
Yeah, different. Pitt didn't play us any zone. Syracuse plays all zone. I think Pitt has some good perimeter size and length, but Syracuse's length on the wings and at the center spot are, guys that they far were taller than us at just about every position. Then Pitt wasn't that. Pitt gets after you on defense way more. I think Syracuse turns you over, but it's different types of turnovers because of the zone. But Pitt, their pressure, especially on the ball and in the passing lanes, is significantly different. And then they're more of a movement-based team. They're running offense, whereas Syracuse, relies on their talent and spacing for individual guys to make plays.
Given his size and wingspan, I mean, how much of a problem did you potentially foresee someone like a Brown being going into this game?
Yeah, he was a huge surprise, and I thought made a huge difference in the game. Obviously, he played more minutes than he's been playing. He affected the game on the defensive end. I was disappointed in our awareness. I mean, as a basketball player, whether you're playing in the ACC or in the playground at home, if there's a guy out there who's blocking every shot at the rim, at some point you should stop shooting them when he's around and use a fake and make a pass or do something else. So I was a little disappointed in our awareness to allow him to get 9 block shots. But you got to give him credit. His length definitely affected it, and I think he's probably, growing into Jeff's system and seeing how, he can get more opportunity by affecting the game. But he certainly was a huge, if not the most significant difference maker and a huge surprise, not something that we game planned for at all.